Now we're going to look at theoretical probability, which is what could happen during a trial. Not what does happen, but rather what could happen. So theoretical probability is the number of successful outcomes divided by the total number of possible outcomes. So theoretical probability is what could happen. Experimental probability is what does actually happen. So to do that, or to model that, we typically will create what we call a tree diagram, and so we looked at creating tree diagrams for any number of things. In this particular example, we want to create a tree diagram to show all possible results for a family having 3 healthy babies. So you could have baby number 1, baby number 2, and baby number 3. Okay? So if you're going to have children, you have really 2 options. You can have either a boy or a girl. Okay. Uh, and so once you've had baby number 1, you decide, okay, well, you want a second child. So you have a second child, and your second child could be either a boy or a girl. Or if your first baby was a girl, your second child could be either a boy or a girl. If you then choose to have a third child, and your first 2 children were boys, well, your third child could be either a boy or a girl. Or if you had a boy the first time and a girl the second time, your third child could either be a boy or a girl, and so on and so forth. So you basically are mapping out all of the different options that are out there. Okay, so now we've gone through and we've looked at the 3 different possibilities of, or 3 possible or different combinations that are possible for you to have these children. So now what we want to do is we want to complete the map. Okay, and so we're going to record all the data together. And this is what I would like for you to do uh, as part of your exam as well. Okay, so we're going to trace the possibilities from the bottom out to from the roots out to the top of the branches. So I'm going to read this chart from left to right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify first. I've got boy, boy, boy. Those are my first 3 possibilities. Then boy, boy, girl. Then I could go boy, girl, boy, or boy, girl, girl. Or I could have a girl first and then go girl, boy, boy, or go girl, boy, girl, or I could go girl, girl, boy, or you could have girl, girl, girl. Okay? So your 3 healthy babies, all the possibilities for them are listed there. So in total, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total possible outcomes. Okay, so once you determine that you have 8 possible outcomes and you've made your tree diagram, then you can determine for yourself the probability of getting each combination. So if we scroll down, we want to figure out, using the tree diagram above, what's the probability of getting each of the following. So uh, obviously I'm missing something here, but let's say uh, 3 girls and 0 boys exactly. Okay, so if I look at my chart, I'm looking for 3 girls and 0 boys exactly, and that only happens 1 spot. Okay, so 1 of the 8 probabilities are there. Okay, so 1 out of the 8 options are given to us there. If we have no no boys, again that's the exact same thing. So 1 out of 8. Okay, actually let's change this first one just to make it a little easier for ourselves. Okay, let's say, for example, in the first one that we want to have uh, one boy or one girl and two boys. Okay? So one girl and two boys. It happens, we'll do it with red. Oop, one girl and two boys. So it happens here. One girl, two boys. And it also happens here. Okay? So 2 out of the 8 possibilities for one girl and two boys. So 2 out of 8, which in lowest terms is 1 over 4. Okay. The next probability there says, what's the probability of getting more than one girl? So more than one girl is 2 or 3. Okay, so more than one girl. So if I go down my list, I get, there's 2 girls, there's 2 girls, there's 2 girls, and here's 3 girls. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so in 4 of the 8 situations, the possible outcome is that you would get at least 2 girls. Okay, and so in lowest terms, that's 1/2. So in half the situations, you could get more than one girl. Okay, and similarly, what's the probability of getting at least one boy? Well, at least one boy would be, well, here we have at least one boy, and here we have at least one boy, and here we have at least one boy, and here we have at least one boy. Same thing here, same thing here, same thing here. And in the last example, there are no boys. So in 7 of the 8 possibilities, we end up with at least one boy. Okay, so using a tree diagram is a great way to model how to uh, model out and map the possible outcomes that you can get in theoretical probability.